You probably know him. He's Andy Matuschak. Hello, Andy.
Hello, hello.
Andy is here at NSSpain. He has just given a talk here. Andy, I'm asking myself when looking at your professional experience.
Sure.
Is this your first time in a leader role?
Yeah, the first time in sort of an ongoing leadership role. There's, certainly were projects within Apple where I was responsible for some feature and some people were helping me out. But yeah, this is the first time in an ongoing leadership role, and that has come with all kinds of novel challenges.
What skills did you have to pick up?
Well, the skills of leadership, and there are many. I think it's interesting within this industry. Often we give people leadership opportunities based on technical talent. Mm-hmm. Typically, a very good engineer is given larger and larger projects, but leadership skills are distinct from technical skills.
Yeah.
They're different things to learn. So, strong communication, dealing with interpersonal issues, helping to motivate people and to understand what motivates them are all important. I should say also that I only do some of these things. My role is mostly in technical leadership,
yeah,
rather than in sort of personnel leadership.
Yeah.
And so my responsibility is largely for setting technical strategy and for helping determine who's going to work on what and what our scoping and schedule are, things like that. Not so much personal growth and development, which we have separate engineering managers for.
Mm-hmm. You started with dealing with computers as a gamer, right?
Right.
Then you went software development in Apple, and
Right.
Now you're in education with Khan Academy.
Right.
A difference between Apple and the rest of these companies is that they start with user experience. So my question is how a product fits in users' life, and according to all this. Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting question. I think the best games also start with user experience. Great product design is about empathy, and empathy is about putting yourself in the user's shoes and imagining what their experience is. And I think, if a game designer isn't doing that, their game isn't going to be very good. Certainly at Khan Academy, if we're not doing that, our product isn't going to be very good. It is interesting, though. You look around at different companies, and in one company, engineering is kind of calling the shots, and in another company, it's marketing or some kind of MBA types who are determining what should be done, what is the product. And in still other companies, Apple among them, it's really design that's making those decisions generally. Game development houses run the gamut. Some of them are very economically motivated, and so they're looking at trends and what do people want to buy. And others of them are really, they're auteurs. Some game designer is determining, this is my vision. It's like a director of a film. And that's very artistic. It's very focused on user experience. Within Khan Academy, it kind of varies. Some of the projects are very design-led. Those are naturally very focused on user experience. Others of them are a little more analytical. Yeah. They're focused on, say, providing great statistics to teachers or things like that. So it does vary, but we certainly try to focus on user experience, and we're always asking the question, what is the fundamental human problem that we are trying to solve, and what's the best way to solve it?
Mm-hmm. At Khan Academy, you're providing digital materials that student needs to be the protagonist of his own educative process. Would it be possible, do you think it would be possible for adults at least to have automated tests, digital materials, zero human interaction at all?
Right. I think that's a great question. I guess there's a couple of different answers wrapped up in that. So we do provide educational materials for adults right now. We hear stories all the time from adults who are going back and getting their GREs or even finishing high school material again for the first time. Yeah. Also from parents who want to brush up so that they can help their kids. So that's a significant user base. There's also adults who are learning new adult materials. So there's financial literacy material, for instance, about is it better to rent or to buy your home? What is a mortgage? What is interest? These are very adult topics. But you brought up another really good question, which is, a sense of community, this interpersonal interaction,
Yeah.
mentorship. That's something that we're really excited about, that there isn't much of a product there yet. I think there's a tremendous amount of promise there, not just for adults, but for kids also, to form those kind of mentorship relationships with each other. And we would love also to expand the content that's available for adults. One of the weird things about working in the educational space is that there are so many problems and there are so many things that we're excited about doing, and it's a constant struggle to pick a few of them and focus. We're a tiny nonprofit, and so I hope that we will get to some of the things you're talking about within the next few years. There's a long list.
In some years' time, right?
I hope so, yeah.
The last stable release about Headerdoc was I believe, in 2009, right?
Right.
Why Apple doesn't support a modern documentation tool like Jazzy? What's your opinion about it?
Yeah. I don't know the answer to that. I think they have a lot of things to do. They often prioritize based on what they use internally.
Yeah.
They don't really use documentation internally. So I think no one's really feeling a pressing need for that. I will say that Swift does come with some novel documentation support. The tools haven't been seriously updated to take advantage of it, but someone did put a lot of thought into the documentation format for Swift's doc strings, and similarly into the formats for Swift playgrounds.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so thank you, Andy, for sharing this time with us on these tips. Thank you, Andy. Thank you.